Retirement in 2025 should be all about peace of mind, warm weather, and stretching your savings. But for many Americans, where you choose to settle down can make, or break, that dream. While some states are rolling out the red carpet for retirees, others are quietly becoming retirement nightmares. We're talking high taxes, expensive healthcare, brutal weather, and low quality of life. And no, it's not just the usual suspects. A few of these might really surprise you. In this video, we're counting down the top 10 worst states to retire in the USA in 2025, based on what really matters: cost of living, safety, healthcare, and how far your money, and peace of mind, will go. If you're planning your next chapter, you'll want to know which states to think twice about. Number 10, Mississippi, known for its southern charm and rich history, but when it comes to retirement, it might not be so charming after all. First off, healthcare. Now, we all know how important good healthcare is as we age, right? Well, Mississippi ranks pretty low in healthcare quality. We're talking limited access to medical facilities and specialists. Imagine needing to see a doctor and having to drive for hours. Not fun, especially when you're not feeling your best. The healthcare quality index in Mississippi is around 80, compared to the national average of 100. That's a significant difference that could impact your quality of life. But it's not just healthcare. Mississippi's got some other issues too. The crime rates. They're higher than you'd like, both for property and violent crimes. We're looking at a crime rate index of around 130, compared to the national average of 100. That's 30% higher. Imagine constantly worrying about your safety or the security of your home. Not exactly the peaceful retirement you've been dreaming of, is it? And let's talk about the weather. Those summers are hot and humid, with temperatures often hitting around 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Number 9, New Jersey, the Garden State. Sounds lovely, but not for retirees. It might feel more like the empty wallet state. Here's why. First things, taxes. New Jersey has the highest property tax rate in the entire country. We're talking an average of 2.49%. That means if you've got a $3 lakh home, you could be paying over $7,000 a year just in property taxes. Ouch. Compare that to the national average of about 1.07%, and you can see why your retirement savings might start disappearing faster than you'd like. But it's not just taxes that'll hit your wallet. The cost of living in New Jersey is significantly above the national average. We're looking at a cost of living index of around 120, compared to the national average of 100. Everything from groceries to gas tends to cost more here. Imagine going to the supermarket and consistently paying 20% more for your weekly shop. It adds up fast, doesn't it? And healthcare costs. They're among the highest in the nation. While New Jersey does have some excellent hospitals, accessing that care might put a serious dent in your retirement fund. You might find yourself choosing between your health and your wealth, not a choice anyone wants to make in their golden years. Now, let's not forget about those winters. They can be pretty brutal, with heavy snowfall that might have you spending more time shoveling than relaxing. Number 8, Louisiana, land of jazz, jambalaya, and jaw-dropping challenges for retirees. First up, we've got to talk about crime. Louisiana has some of the highest crime rates in the country, both for property and violent crimes. We're looking at a crime rate index of around 130, compared to the national average of 100. That's 30% higher. Imagine constantly looking over your shoulder or triple-checking your locks at night. That's not exactly the peace of mind you're looking for in your golden years, is it? Then there's the healthcare situation. Louisiana ranks pretty low when it comes to healthcare quality. We're talking a healthcare quality index of around 80, compared to the national average of 100. That means limited access to medical facilities, especially in rural areas. Picture yourself needing to see a specialist and having to travel hours to the nearest big city. And when you're retired, good healthcare isn't just nice to have, it's essential. And let's not forget about Mother Nature. Louisiana is no stranger to natural disasters, especially hurricanes and floods. The state's natural disaster risk index is significantly higher than the national average. Imagine spending your retirement constantly worrying about the next big storm, or worse, having to evacuate your home every hurricane season. Plus, those summers are hot and humid, with temperatures often hovering around 90 F. Great for gators, maybe not so great for retirees who want to enjoy outdoor activities without melting. But it's not all bad news. Louisiana does have its charms. The food is amazing, the culture is rich, and the people are known for their hospitality. Number 7. Colorado, Centennial State. Beautiful mountains, outdoor adventures. Sounds perfect, right? Well, not so fast. Let's take a closer look at why it might not be the retirement paradise that you're thinking. First off, let's talk money. The cost of living in Colorado is higher than the national average. We're looking at a cost of living index of around 110, compared to the national average of 100. That means your retirement savings might not stretch as far as you'd like. Everything from housing to groceries tends to cost more here. Imagine going to the store and consistently paying 10% more for your everyday items. It adds up fast, doesn't it? And healthcare expenses, they're on the higher side too. While Colorado does have some excellent medical facilities, especially in the Denver area, accessing that care might put a dent in your retirement fund. You might find yourself choosing between your health and your wealth, not a choice anyone wants to make in their golden years. Now, you might be thinking, but at least it's safe, right? Well, unfortunately, Colorado has higher rates of both property and violent crimes compared to many other states. We're looking at a crime rate index of around 120, compared to the national average of 100. Not exactly the peace of mind you're looking for in retirement. Picture yourself constantly checking your locks or worrying about your car when you park it downtown. That's not how most people envision spending their golden years. And then there's the weather. Sure, those mountains are beautiful, but they come with some pretty harsh winters. We're talking frequent snowstorms that can make getting around a real challenge. Imagine having to shovel your driveway every other day. Not exactly the relaxing retirement you had in mind, is it? And let's not forget about the altitude. If you're not used to it, the thin air at higher elevations can cause health issues for some people. But it's not all doom and gloom. Colorado does have its perks. The scenery is stunning, there are plenty of outdoor activities for active retirees, and the state has a vibrant culture. Number 6. Massachusetts, home of the Red Sox, clam chowder, and retirement challenges, the cost of living. Brace yourself, because it's a doozy. Housing costs in Massachusetts are about 50% above the national average. We're looking at a housing cost index of 150, compared to the national average of 100. That means your retirement nest egg might not go as far as you'd hoped. Imagine paying $1,500 for an apartment that would cost $1,000 in other parts of the country. And it's not just housing. Everything from groceries to gas tends to cost more here. Picture yourself constantly watching your budget, even for everyday items. Not exactly the carefree retirement you've been dreaming of, is it? Then there's healthcare. Now, Massachusetts is known for having some top-notch hospitals. That's great, right? Well, yes and no. The quality is high, but so are the costs. In fact, healthcare costs in Massachusetts are among the highest in the country. We're looking at a healthcare cost index of around 130, compared to the national average of 100. That's 30% higher. Not exactly what you want to hear when you're on a fixed income. Imagine having to choose between your health and your savings account. It's a tough position to be in during your retirement years. And let's not forget about those infamous New England winters. We're talking cold temperatures and heavy snowfall. But it's not all bad news. Massachusetts does have its charms. The state is steeped in history, has excellent educational institutions, and offers a variety of cultural experiences. Number 5. North Dakota, Peace Garden State. Sounds tranquil, doesn't it? But for retirees, first off, let's talk about that weather. North Dakota winters are no joke. We're talking temperatures that often drop below zero. The average winter temperature here can be around 12 degrees Fahrenheit, compared to the national average of 33 degrees Fahrenheit. Imagine stepping outside and feeling like you've walked into a freezer. Not exactly the warm, cozy retirement many folks dream of, right? Picture yourself bundled up in layers upon layers just to go to the grocery store, or worrying about your pipes freezing every time the temperature drops. Now, you might be thinking, well, at least it's affordable. But here's the thing. The cost of living in North Dakota is actually relatively high compared to other states in the region. We're looking at a cost of living index that's around 95 to 100, which is close to the national average. So your retirement dollars might not stretch as far as you'd hope. Imagine paying prices similar to what you'd pay in more populated areas, but with fewer amenities and services available. And then there's healthcare. In North Dakota, access to quality healthcare can be limited, especially if you're in a rural area. The healthcare access index here is around 80, compared to the national average of 100. Imagine having to drive hours just to see a specialist. Not ideal when you're in your golden years and might need more frequent medical care. But it's not all doom and gloom. North Dakota does have its charms. The state boasts wide open spaces, friendly communities, and a slower pace of life that some retirees might appreciate. Number 4, California, land of sunshine, beaches, and sky-high costs. You bet. Let's dive into why the Golden State might not be so golden for retirees. First issue here is the cost of living. Hold on to your wallet, because California is one of the most expensive states in the nation. The median home price, around $7 lakh. That's more than double the national average of about $3 lakh, and it's not just housing. Everything from groceries to gas tends to cost more here. We're looking at a cost of living index of around 150, compared to the national average of 100. That means everything costs about 50% more in California. Then there are the taxes. California has some of the highest state income tax rates in the country, going up to 13.3% for high earners. Even if you're not in the top bracket, those taxes can take a big bite out of your retirement income. Picture yourself carefully budgeting your retirement savings, only to watch a significant chunk disappear to taxes each year. And let's not forget about the mighty weather conditions. While the weather is generally great, California is prone to natural disasters. We're talking earthquakes, wildfires, and droughts. The natural disaster risk index in California is around 150, compared to the national average of 100. That's 50% higher. Imagine spending your retirement constantly worried about the next big disaster. Not exactly the peace of mind you're looking for, is it? Picture yourself having to evacuate your home due to wildfires, or dealing with water restrictions during severe droughts. But it's not all bad news. California does have its perks. The weather is fantastic in many parts of the state, the scenery is stunning, and there's always something to do. Number 3, Washington, home of the Space Needle, endless coffee shops, and retirement challenges. First up, let's talk about the cost of living. It's significantly higher than the national average. We're looking at a cost of living index of around 120, compared to the national average of 100. That means your retirement savings might not stretch as far as you'd like. Housing, food, healthcare, it all tends to cost more in Washington. Imagine paying $1,200 for an apartment that would cost $1,000 in other parts of the country. And it's not just housing. Everything from groceries to gas tends to be pricier. Picture yourself constantly watching your budget, even for everyday items. Not exactly the carefree retirement you've been dreaming of, is it? Now, you might be thinking, but at least it's safe, right? Well, not so. Washington actually has higher rates of both property and violent crimes compared to many other states. We're looking at a crime rate index of around 120, compared to the national average of 100. That's 20% higher. Not exactly the peace of mind you're looking for in your golden years. Imagine constantly worrying about your safety or the security of your home. That's not how most people envision spending their retirement. And then there's the weather. Sure, those evergreen forests are beautiful, but they come with a price: rain. Lots of rain. We're talking long, rainy seasons with an average of 38 inches of rain annually, compared to the national average of about 30 inches. Imagine spending most of your days indoors, looking out at gray skies. Not exactly the sunny retirement many folks dream of, is it? Picture yourself having to plan indoor activities for most of the year, or dealing with the constant dampness that comes with so much rainfall. But it's not all doom and gloom. Washington does have its perks. The scenery is stunning, there's no state income tax, and the state has a vibrant culture, especially in areas like Seattle. Number 2, New York, the cost of living. Brace yourself, because it's a doozy. New York is known for its high costs, especially in and around New York City. We're looking at a cost of living index of around 140, compared to the national average of 100. That means everything costs about 40% more in New York. Your retirement savings might disappear faster than a New York minute. Then there are the taxes. New York has one of the highest property tax rates in the country, averaging about 1.68%. That's significantly higher than the national average of 1.07%. On a $3 lakh home, you'd be paying about $5,040 in property taxes each year in New York, compared to $3,210 in an average state. And let's not forget about those infamous New York winters, especially upstate. We're talking harsh cold and heavy snowfall. Number 1, Alaska. The last frontier might be first in natural beauty, but for retirees, it's last in livability. Here's why. First up, the cost of living. Hold on to your parkas, because it's a shocker. Living costs in Alaska are about 30% higher than the national average. Housing, about 17% higher. But here's the real kicker. Utilities and healthcare expenses are nearly 50% higher than the national average. Imagine watching your retirement savings melt away faster than an Alaskan glacier. Then there's the weather. Sure, those northern lights are beautiful, but at what cost? Winter temperatures can drop as low as -10°F. That's not just cold, that's freeze your eyelashes together. And let's talk about isolation. Alaska is vast and sparsely populated. That means limited access to healthcare, especially specialized care. It also means fewer options for entertainment, shopping, and social interaction. Retirement should be about enjoying life, not feeling like you're stuck at the edge of the world, right? And there you have it, the top 10 worst states to retire in the USA for 2025. From the budget-busting costs of New York to the icy isolation of Alaska, these states might make you think twice about your retirement plans. Remember, the best place to retire is wherever you feel happy, healthy, and at home. So do your homework, consider your budget and needs, and choose wisely. Here's to finding your perfect retirement paradise, wherever that may be.